Welcome to a new episode of All Sorts of Sports. We are
All sorts of sports.
Damn, there's no
All
rain.
sorts of sports. Sports your ass.
we're missing our favorite colonizer, Martin Sheen. I mean Ryan.
Martin Sheen. What's that? I meant to do this for the all sorts of sports.
Oh, there we go.
All sorts of sports.
There we go.
All sorts of sports.
That makes it
all sorts of sports.
Because if it's just you, it's just
all sorts of sports.
Annoying.
That is like fucking up my eyes, bro. That's killing my eyes.
I like it. It's dope.
That's killing my eyes.
It works.
Oh, you staring at it? Don't stare at it.
Yeah,
James, don't stare. Don't stare.
Yeah, you just had a Trump "don't stare at the sun" moment. I'm getting dizzy. Stop looking at it.
Shit is just there.
But with that said, wanted to start with the Monday Night Football madness.
Let's do that.
Some of us saw this coming. Some of us picked the Commanders to beat the Eagles. Some of us being myself and K-Dot. I saw it coming because they fucking embarrassed them a month and a half ago, and they're division rivals. And Heineke is fucking insane. He's fucking Fitzpatrick. He's Fitzpatrick. He's new Fitzpatrick. And some he's not as good as at throwing the ball. But he's new Fitzpatrick. He doesn't have the highs or the lows though. He doesn't have the 5 interception games or the 5 touchdown games. He's a little bit in between. That's why he's baby Fitz. But anyway, and Washington did it. They, for people who bet on the game, I'm sure they fucked you over in terms of that point spread. But Washington upset Philly. And they are now 5-5.
Yep,
5-5 Washington. Yeah,
half a game outside playoff.
Yep.
Oh shit, nice. Congratulations, bro.
Philly is 8-1. And congratulations to the Commanders. But let's start off with basically the upset. What does this mean for Philly, if anything?
Nothing.
All right. Predictable.
Philly is the same
Washington?
team we thought.
What does it mean for Washington and the impending, I guess, conundrum, because it came out that Ron hasn't announced who's going to be the starter?
No, he's actually fucking this thing up. He's fucking it up badly.
What does it mean for Washington and the impending, basically, who's going to be the starting quarterback moving forward?
Because y'all play next week?
Oh, this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
With our next opponents, Houston, Atlanta, and New York twice.
Which New York? Oh, no, Giants. Giants back to back?
Giants, bye week, Giants.
Ooh.
That could be that could be 4-0 if y'all were like.
Or we've won 4 of the last 5.
That's 2-2 minimum.
I'm just saying, it's starting to get interesting in Washington.
That's 2-2 minimum in my opinion. James, what you think?
Your run defense is good, so I'm not too worried about Dameon Pierce. How's your secondary? I know, is Cameron Crowe playing?
Jalen Hurts threw for under 140 yards.
Is Curl playing?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't think Davis.
And Chase Young comes back next week.
I'm not even worried about the Houston anything. That's an automatic W for me. But I also did
Chase Young's coming back. Our starting the middle linebackers coming back.
You see, here's the only part. So it sounds good, right? But then you got to play the game. That's the only part I'm worried about.
He right, because it's like in my mind, I believe you guys should beat Houston easily. But I also was like, this is an upset game waiting to happen. You just got your big, huge win against Philly. You're riding off of that. And then you overlook Houston because you're like, okay, we're going to beat Houston. You're thinking all the players in the mind are thinking they're going to beat Houston. And then you get out there and Houston plays out of their minds and they do to you what you did to Philly.
Where is the game plan played?
In Houston.
Okay.
The only thing that I would counter
that's
with
better for y'all though.
The only thing I counter with is that outside the Philly game, we've won 3 out of the last 4. And that loss was against the Minnesota Vikings, who look fucking good. And we only lost by 3 on some fluke shit at the end of the game. I'm just saying it's not been. Look, the reason I picked Washington to beat Philadelphia was because of the things that we do well is what can neutralize in a great offense, which is if you run the fucking football. Like you had your criticisms for Brian Robinson, James, last week, as far as he doesn't run the ball up to expectation or some shit.
I don't think I said that.
You definitely said it. So
it was Ryan?
You and Ryan. Ryan helped you out with the argument.
No, Ryan said that he only averaged like 2 yards a carry or some shit.
You said Brian Robinson isn't living up to, and then you pause, and then recently. Ryan filled it in.
Yeah, just recently. Yeah.
But here's what you're missing. Mm-hmm. Brian Robinson's not a home run back. We're not expecting him to go off for 140 yards in a game because he rips 2 30-yard runs. He's a consistent 3 yards a carry guy. And guess what happens if you run the ball 3 times in a row, or 3 times or twice in a row to get the third down? You have it as something manageable. And when you have it as something manageable, guess what then you can do? Use all the guys that we have to run all over the fucking field. If you saw what it is we were doing a lot in this game was every pre-snap, there's somebody in motion, right? There's Curtis Samuel in motion, Jahan Dotson in motion, one of the tight ends in motion to get the defense to say, hold up, because we know they like to run the reverses. We know they keep some multiple guys in the backfield and keeps them just honest. And then what do? Just hand the ball to Brian Robinson, have him run up a guy, or hand the ball to this guy, have him run up a guy, or give it to Antonio Gibson, have him do this shit. J.D. McKissick, I don't think got a fucking snap this last game. Like, we can run the ball. It's just not sexy with Brian Robinson, but he's consistent. You know what you're going to get every time that he touches the football, which is positive yards. And that's all you're looking for, positive yards.
He is tough.
He's a tough runner.
He is tough.
He got shot in the knee.
He should have been down.
Dragging y'all.
Here's the problem. No vision at the running back position for him yet. He has no vision.
I don't think it's that.
Yeah, but the other thing is the offensive line gets no push. The offensive line is no push. So you got 5 offensive linemen just kind of standing there. They don't necessarily give up space in the run game, but they're not pushing and getting to the next level.
That was evident on Antonio Gibson's touchdown where he had to leap over.
You see what I'm saying? So like that way Robinson's every time he gets the ball, those are tough yards he's getting. But if you run the ball and you do it consistently and you don't shy away from it, Brian Robinson's stat line this last game is one of those things that you would say was probably pretty pedestrian, which is what? Let me just pull it real quick. 26 carries for 86 yards. It's not sexy. It's not sexy at all. But what does it do? What does it mean? We didn't get away from it, right? You stick with it. And you give Antonio Gibson some carries when he needs to get them. 14 carries, 44 yards. Also not sexy. But it kept the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands and out of that offense's hands. And what does it do for our defense? Keep them fucking fresh. If you keep that model, you can win games against anybody if you can do it properly and win. If you win time possession and you win the turnover battle, you can win anything.
That's the Raven way.
And as a matter of fact, somebody said that. I think it was it might have been Colin Cowherd said that today. He said that the win for Washington felt very Baltimore-like in the way that we did it with Philadelphia, and it's very clear. Yeah, that's how we did it. And the thing with Taylor Heineke is that look. Taylor doesn't really win you games that much. He might be good for like 1 or 2 of those a year. But what he does do, or what he's been doing better at least in this game, was that he wasn't a net negative. He was a net positive. Just don't fuck it up. Just don't fuck it up.
Scary Terry dragging Darius Slay. He was dogging Darius Slay. If we get Scary Terry a good quarterback,
oh, that does bring me to my next point, which is and we can get off of this.
Don't do it again.
We get off of this. Clearly, what's happening next year is Sean Payton, Lamar Jackson with Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, for sure. Right, cool. Absolutely. Yeah.
I thought you were about to say something else, K-Dot.
Yeah.
What?
Scared me. I thought you were about to say that Scary Terry was as good as Jerry Rice again.
I said Terry McLaurin statistically had a better start than Jerry Rice did. That's not an opinion. It's just a fact. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That's what it is.
I'm legitimately looking forward to when Derek Carr is y'all's quarterback. Because it's happening. And I think that's
a legitimate. I think that can
it's happening. No, I promise you, I feel like it's an 80% chance it happens right now.
I'm not going that high.
The Raiders are going to leave.
Are we switching to the Raiders now?
Right. Here's what Rivera can't do. Hang on. What Rivera can't do to this fan base or keep his job is to say We went from Carson Wentz to Derek Carr. And how much money Derek Carr is going to cost? You can't do that.
I don't think he's going to cost that much.
If he costs anywhere in the realm of Carson Wentz, when we have other things we got to pay, Daron Payne needs to get paid this offseason.
I think you can get Derek Carr for like 28 million, 32 million.
Daron Payne needs to get paid this
Derek Carr is already paid.
No.
We still have to pay him if he comes here.
So when you look at his numbers,
I know, that's what I'm saying. If he's 20-something plus,
it's gonna
Daron
get better.
Payne has to get paid this offseason. I keep stressing that. It's very important that he does.
You can still do it.
No. That's
what's called restructuring.
Carson Wentz. I think the most likely thing is Carson Wentz is back next
year. Ooh, yuck.
Yes, we have a second-year option, and it gets a little more affordable. If we're 5-5, you just said it yourself. This most likely we should be at a minimum 2-2 these next 4, right? Which puts us probably in the playoff line, and we're a wild card team. So what does that mean? We will not be in the top end of the draft. And if we're not in the top end of the draft, we're not going to pick up a quarterback that we know we can start day one. So what are you going to do? Throw Sam Howell in there next offseason?
Maybe go and trade for a better quarterback.
You just start the guy here.
Or sign who's going to be a free agent.
So we got to get Derek Carr in here and teach him the system, and then we got to wait another fucking year for a defense to get
Listen, DC loves a good praying man. A good praying white man, they love that. Like,
do you see Bezos and Jay-Z saying we want Derek Carr to be the face of the Washington franchise?
Yes.
No, he cries too much.
But speaking of the Las Vegas Raiders,
I should have went speaking of crying and crying quarterbacks. Yeah. Derek Carr did have a reason to cry.
There's no. I wanted to mention like there's no crying in football, but I didn't.
No, I was like, yeah, there's no crying in baseball. There's no damn sure should be no crying in football.
There's no crying in football.
They did not get the memo in Vegas.
But I mean, that's not even true. If you play football, you know, like that shit happens. You just don't do it in the press conference.
Luke Kuechly.
The Raiders fell to the Colts in what was deemed an upset because it was Jeff Saturday's debut, and there was a lot of talk, especially on this podcast, about Jeff Saturday, his lack of experience, and how, you know, he shouldn't be coaching or whatever, you know, opportunity should have been given to other people, whatever. But Jeff Saturday and his 30-year-old play caller did it. They did the damn thing. They had Jonathan Taylor looking like Jonathan Taylor. They fed him the fucking ball. My fantasy team was fucking excited. And he had 160 yards and a touch.
Let's talk about Matt Ryan coming back.
The Colts?
Matt Ryan came back as well.
I picked the Colts.
And the Colts won the game 25-20. But with that said, what does that mean for Jeff Saturday? Let's start with the Colts side. What does it mean for Jeff Saturday? Anything? Is it just like, hey, is it more so you just beat the one of the worst 2 teams in the league, so it doesn't really count? Or is it like, hey, you beat a really talented team and you had no experience, and you know, we should have given you a little bit more respect because you played under Tony Dungy and Jim Caldwell or whatever. What does it mean? And I want to start with James. For the Colts.
It's one game. You got to see how it happens throughout the rest of the year, but the players played for him. Like, nobody has said a bad word about Jeff Saturday himself, right? It's more so about the opportunity was given and how it was given, and the way that the rule has been circumvented.
The way he got the job.
Yeah, the way the Rooney Rule, like it's like you don't have to do it if it's an interim head coach. Like, you see what I'm saying? So like
golf course deal, though.
Yeah, and he's like one of his buddies and shit like that. But at the end of the day, nobody actually has an issue with Jeff Saturday, right?
For sure.
And listen to him talk about like how he was able to prepare for the week. It was more so like I was just delegation, managing the team, which if you're not like, he's not a defensive guy. So he's like, all right, you're the D coordinator. You have like a top 5 defense in the league already. You run that shit. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. I got to fix the offensive line. So I'm going to come in. That's what I know. I'm going to help with that. You know what? This Ellinger kid, I can't win with him. Matt Ryan, you healthy? I seen you throw 2 days in a row. You look all right. You starting. Everybody in the building's happy. It's like, hey, we got our people back. morale booster. You go into Vegas, it's the whole complete opposite end of the spectrum. If like people weren't listening because they were just watching Derek Carr's tears, but if you hear what that man was saying, it was more so like the fact that he looks at certain people in the locker room. He sees what they have to go through just to practice or to sleep, right? Which is what most football players have to deal with. He's like, I wish that some of the other people would understand and put more effort into it, which clearly that means that half the players in there don't give a shit. And that's a problem. So here we are.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Jeff Saturday just needs to keep doing what he's doing, delegating and empowering the coaches on his staff to make the right decisions. And they definitely got that right this past week.
Okay, Doc.
Your question was, what does this mean for the Colts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As I've said last week, the Jeff Saturday hire was an admission by Jim Irsay that he has no fucking idea what he's doing. We have no idea how this is going to work out. You can't compare it to anything. Like here's the thing. He might be a fucking trend before we fucking know it, right? Like get the guy who has no experience but used to be a player and one of top 3 smartest positions in football, being the center that you have to be. So like maybe it starts a trend. All I know is that Jim Irsay didn't do this with any rhyme or reason other than throwing his hands up saying, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I actually think what you were saying as far as the Raiders when it comes to locker room is a lot of what I've been hearing constantly about the Colts locker room. Jim Irsay's meddling has created these rifts in the locker room that I think Jeff Saturday has noticed it, and it's done something. When they benched Matt Ryan, no one on the team wanted Matt Ryan benched. It was a Jim Irsay move. And I think what you also saw Jeff Saturday do is put the power back in control to the coaches and the players, right? But I think what they looked at when it came to Frank Reich is that Frank Reich was rolling over for anything that Irsay wanted to do. And I think that's another thing that probably lost Frank the locker room to a certain degree is like, yo, if you're just going to do whatever Jim's doing, what the fuck is the point now? But I think Saturday created a good enough buffer, and he at least knew how to communicate with these guys. I mean, he's been around this team in a lot of capacities even before he got the job, right? So it's like I can't say any grand indictments on either of these teams right now. You got a Raiders team that is clearly playing way below their talent level, and I squarely put that on Josh McDaniels, who's losing the locker room. And that's the only reason they should have kept Rich Bisaccia there, was that the motherfuckers try hard. They tried hard last year. You can't say that now, at least not for majority of the team. And the thing with the Colts that you saw in this game was they got back to basics. You see that they were feeling it in this game. And that to me was it. Jonathan Taylor looked better than he had fucking all season.
It's very obvious. I've talked about this all season, the pendulum swing and all that bullshit. But James, I want to ask you now, just following up on K-Dot's point and something that you already spoke to earlier, which is effort. Effort has been a highlighted thing for like some of the Raiders' struggles, right? People are saying it's effort, but James, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all have been in a lot of one-score games, and it's a flip, and y'all could be 7-2. Y'all could be 7-2. You could legitimately could be 7-2. So is it just effort? Is it not scheme at all? Is it just effort? Is it a lack of talent? Is it because I sometimes think it's a combination of things. I don't think it's just effort. I think it's effort, and I think it's a little bit of a lack of talent, maybe at the corner position and the struggles on the offensive line, and maybe you can't do what you want to do. But I also think there's some issues with Josh as a head coach. But what are your thoughts on it? And basically my question is it just effort, or is it, compounding things? What are your thoughts?
So, on the I Am Athlete podcast, right? Brandon Marshall was talking about Josh McDaniels, like in his tenure at the head coach in Denver, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like, they were the most prepared team ever. They were cheating a little bit, but they were prepared, right? And he's like, yeah. He would go to him in the middle of the week and saying like, all right, at the third quarter, at some point, this is going to happen. And this is what we're going to do. and this is going to win us the game. And then that week, third quarter, shit happened every time, right? The issue is when those things are happening for us now, the players that aren't taking this shit as serious as they should, we don't make those plays. Like, for Derek to say that people don't care as much and they aren't doing what they need to do to actually win, and he's seeing what other people are doing to actually just be able to be out there, that's a problem. And as you were talking earlier, I started thinking about like, yeah, when you remember like all the older superstars would go over to New England and some would make it and some just wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
Now, imagine having like all them people just come over at once and then like half the team just not gonna make it. And then the other half gonna be all right. Like you get 2-7. So it's like, well, that's why I believe and I know that Mark Davis is not gonna fire Josh this year, right? He's gonna give him another year, the same with the GM, right? Because he inherited this team the way they were at this point in time. Now he gets another offseason to make whatever moves he needs to make because he can see who should be there and who shouldn't, who like can conform to his philosophies as a head coach and GM or whatever, and who else he needs to bring in. So I thought the shit was going to be good this year, but it sure as hell isn't.
Can I make one more point?
I cashed app you.
Oh, you did?
You didn't see it? You must have money in your cash app, bro.
No, they never give me the fucking notifications.
I cashed app you like
I don't get
Sunday
notifications
night.
for Cash App or Venmo either.
Yeah, I fucking hate Cash App. They never give me my fucking notifications.
Well, I sent you the money already.
I appreciate it, my brother.
Can I make one more point? There is something I've said on this podcast since day one. And James, you better fucking remember this. What did I say about playing in Vegas?
My memory bad.
What did I say about playing in Vegas?
I don't know.
That it's a bad idea.
Oh.
A NFL team in Las Vegas is a bad fucking idea.
Yeah.
And I think that might be part of what fucking what Carr's talking about.
What do you mean?
The guys aren't putting in the time and the effort because they're probably fucking distracted.
No, I mean, if that was the case, the same shit would have happened last year, right? That's not it.
I think that it gets worse as time goes on, but I also think that you have a guy like Josh McDaniels who lacks one thing above all else: people skills.
Mm-hmm. And that goes back to my point. That goes back to my point of what I was saying is to the people that would come over to New England, it's the Patriot way. You got to do it this way. You're just not going to make it. And half the team just ain't going to make it.
But that the thing is in New England, if you do not orchestrate the Patriot way, there's no, hey, let's give it more time for you to figure this out. It's you're gone.
Yeah, how you gonna cut half the team?
You make one significant cut and it changes a lot of shit. If you're really trying to make changes. Bill's never been afraid of that. That's the thing. But they also have the success that they can also count on, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Josh McDaniels shows up. Patriots haven't been winning shit since Tom has left. People are still going to look at far as who was responsible for what, right? Josh doesn't have a clear resume on his own at all. And he walks into a locker room with a bunch of guys that I also think most of that locker room wanted Rich Bisaccia as the fucking head coach. So I just think right now you've got Josh needs to take control of this team, and I don't think he's the guy that can do that. I don't think he has it. And I like Josh McDaniels.
No, I agree with you, but that's kind of why you see the success that Jeff Saturday had, right? Mm-hmm. Because he has that part that Josh doesn't have.
Yeah, it's all part of it.
Like he's not the smartest guy in the fucking world when it comes to offense. He is smart, of course, but he's not like a Josh McDaniels in terms of like scheme and shit. His offense isn't that complex. He doesn't have an offense. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally understand it. I'm just I'm still hopeful that Mark Davis, because I still don't think he has a fucking idea what he's doing, fires him this season. And you guys are best.
He's not going to fire.
I think the podcast is better when the Raiders suck.
Oh, misery loves company, huh?
Well, I'm not miserable.
Yeah, yes, the fuck you are.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, you dropped personal life shit just now on me? God damn.
No, I did not do that. Don't do that.
I don't
You know
think
I
he
would
was
never.
talking about
I'm
I don't think
joking.
he
Nah,
was-
bro, that
I
fucked
think-
me up. Why you do that?
That wasn't fair to say. That wasn't fair to say. That was
No,
not fair.
Jay, I
You gotta withdraw that.
I sent a very sad text to the group yesterday. Keem avoided like he does most things. And then
What?
James, I'm sorry. James called me with it as I think delivered would have set up. James called me immediately to make sure that I was good. And I appreciate it, friend.
All right, so don't say I'm dropping personal life shit.
I'm
only
fucking
talking
with you.
about sports.
I know, but
What'd
my
you
team's
say?
great.
What'd you say? I don't avoid most things.
I don't think you like
Nah,
emotion.
like I know K-Dot enough to
I'm also
like where I
fucking
can
with
read
you.
into
I'm
shit.
not.
I can read into shit and I could be like, all right, I know what this mean. Let me check and
I
make
was
sure my guy
tired.
good.
I was really tired yesterday.
Oh, I know.
Oh, you talking about your drive?
that was in there. That was part of it. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we ain't gotta talk about text over right now.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
you gotta-
I'll talk about my life.
So look,
I like talking about my life.
here's the
in front
good
of
part.
strangers.
Here's the good part, guys.
Okay.
You ready? Listen. If the Raiders keep losing, right? By the time I get there next month, I'm gonna be on the fucking field at the 50 for $5. So tickets is cheap.
Come stay at the Bellagio. Free
Yeah.
tickets.
Yeah, I already got 4 free tickets. I already got 4 free, and
What day you going? What day you going?
December 2nd. We're gonna play the Chargers. You know why we decided that game? Because we lost to them week 1, but it was like a close game. Of course,
so
I'm
you
like,
win
oh, we
that
gonna get
second,
him
so
at
you win
home.
that second
We gonna
one.
get him
Yeah,
at home. No, the
yeah,
fuck we
yeah.
not.
So you're going a couple days early for the Sunday game.
You said what?
So you're going a couple days early to Vegas, hang out, and then the Chargers game. On the
Yeah,
4th.
like the original plan was to go there a few days early. Like it's a family trip. You remember last week I said if we lost to the Colts, I was canceling the family trip, but that's not happening.
I remember you did say that.
So look,
You did say that.
the plan is to go there a few days early. The original plan was to go there a few days early, watch the Raiders game on Sunday, then hit up LA because we play the Rams in LA on Thursday. But yeah, I ain't doing that shit neither.
Broncos, Seahawks, Chargers, Rams, Patriots, Steelers, 49ers, Chiefs. Woo, Nelly.
Oh, I saw a stat from the Raiders' #1 hater, not UK dot, but the real #1 hater. His name is Josh Dubo, and he said the Raiders have a 95% chance of making the playoffs if they win out, and that's not happening.
I mean, do you think it can happen?
No,
What's your concern index?
my concern index is fuck it. That's hey, we got the #2 pick right now.
That's an hey, you're such an asshole. All right.
I just can't wait to see what quarterback y'all destroy.
Okay. Just real quick, yes or no? I know you said that McDaniels won't get fired, but should he be go K-Dot?
No, you don't fire a guy first year. I don't think it's right. But they should for the entertainment sake.
James?
We're not gonna do it. Like, yeah, there's no way in hell.
Okay.
I think that's
should
crazy.
Should they not?
Huh.
Are they? Should they?
No, you never do that. Like, because if you do that, then you're gonna have the same shit we've had for the past 20 years, where it's
If
like
y'all
you
get
got
blown out by the
million-
Broncos,
No.
if it's 35-9 against the Broncos,
No.
if it's Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson, it's
All right, let me ask you this
35-9
question.
against the Broncos. What
No,
happens?
nothing. Let me ask you this question: when we beat Denver 59-14, they didn't fire their dude the next week.
When that happened?
A few years ago.
Okay.
I still remember the score. Darren McFadden was going to fuck off.
Oh, this had to be 2016, man.
Yeah.
Damn, he dropped Darren McFadden.
Yeah. We
All
had
right.
fixes, everything. I
Those
still watch them.
those glory
full video.
years.
The full video is on YouTube if you ever want to watch the Raiders do something really good.
So 50. So because no, I'm not. I don't know what the team's records were. I'm saying if this Raiders team right now loses 35-0 to Denver Broncos, you don't think a head might roll?
What head is gonna roll? Okay,
There's only one.
who?
There could be only one.
There could be only one. I don't think.
Only.
I'm just saying.
K-Dot,
There's-
we can lose 20-0 to every team for the rest of the year, and he's
What
not
is a
gonna
bad
fire
thing?
him.
That and then I think that's bad. That's a bad decision.
Okay. All right.
If the Raiders don't score another point, you
Oh,
don't
man,
think somebody should get fired?
Yeah. Offensive coordinator. We'll pull a Frank Wright and can the offensive coordinator when Frank Wright was the one calling the plays anyway. And then he got fired the next week.
Like, I actually think that there's a chance you guys do the impossible and get a few of these wins. But this Broncos game, man, I know what I'm hoping for. But,
the thing is, like,
it's gonna be really interesting.
You got to respect the Broncos defense, right? Like, let's not act like they suck. They're top 10 for damn sure. Probably top 5.
Top 10.
Y'all can't lose to the Broncos.
You can lose.
I can see it.
You just can't get embarrassed.
All right, fair enough.
But
like the 24-0 Saints game,
no,
that can't happen against
the Saints had the 30th ranked defense at that time, which I don't understand how. Because
Broncos are 1 in points for, second in yards,
and their defense is. You're right. It might be top 5.
Yeah. That's what I just said. They're first in points allowed, and they're second in yards.
I can see us losing because guess what?
Oh, you should. No, I'm picking you to lose. That's.
I am. I mean,
you
should discuss that later.
39.
I'm saying a blowout.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because here's my thing. I don't give a fuck with the defense. The y'all can't let them blow you out. You can't let Russ cook that much.
The final score should be 10-3.
Oh,
yes.
Also,
that's the success of that.
Also, you should look at how many people they have out. They don't have their left tackle, right tackle, corner, top 2 safeties, linebackers, and we still might lose.
Even when that offense was healthy, it wasn't good. It doesn't matter about the offense, but the defense, yes, I'll give you that. Defense, yes, I'll give you that.
Defense is fucking elite.
But yeah, so outside of that, all right, guys, staying sort of in the division. Right now, betting odds makers have Patrick Mahomes as the MVP favorite. Is he the MVP favorite for you guys as well? Do you think it should be someone else? Do you think, someone else will come, stronger down the stretch? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, whoever else you want to throw out there, Jalen Hurts. There are many, Tua. Fucking Justin Jefferson should be in the top 5 in MVP consideration if you're fucking asking me. But who's your first start off? Tell me who's your MVP favorite right now as the season stands, and then give me who you think will win it when all this shit is said and done.
Who's first? Me or you, K-Dot?
You can go. I can go. It doesn't matter to me.
So right now it's Patrick Mahomes, and by the end of the year it'll be 1 Patrick Mahomes, 2 Lamar Jackson, 3 Josh Allen.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes, like going into this year, I was guilty of it. We were like, all right, no Tyreek Hill. How's the team going to look? And if you look at, there was a stat that I posted which showed the effect of not having Tyreek Hill in terms of the coverages that teams are using.
Just to interject real quick. Yeah. So right now, Tua sees, I believe, what the least man coverage in the league. And last year he saw some of the most man coverage in the league. And
vice versa
for Pat Mahomes. Last year, not a lot of man coverage.
It's like you gotta play zone.
This year, man up. We ain't gotta worry about Tyreek Hill, man up.
So at the end of the day, we were like, all right, you know what? There's gonna be a change. Teams are gonna play them differently. We didn't account for how fucking great Mahomes is. Like,
some of us didn't.
Yeah. We all acknowledge that he is great, but we thought it was going to be a little bit less. And it's not. I
don't think I said that.
I said he'd be better.
I thought the team would struggle, not him.
Yeah.
I said neither of those things.
He's the team. He's the team.
I said neither of those things.
All right, shut up, K-Dot. We get it. We fucking get it. When
He's better without him.
When you write, you want to tell the whole world.
You're goddamn right.
Stop talking right now.
I'm never wrong.
Except right now when you said that, because you're wrong. All right. So, yeah, I mean, Mahomes is fucking Mahomes. Like, the reason why Tua is in the MVP conversation is partly because of Tyreek Hill as well. So there's that as well.
Yep. K-Dot.
Mahomes is leading. There's still time for Allen to get back in the mix, but I think right now, it's Mahomes and Jackson. I think the Josh Allen, especially this last week, is leaving a bad taste in everybody's mouth. But
Is he?
I do think so a little bit.
I haven't heard much about it.
Look, he fucked it up this last game, and he tried entirely too much to do. You can see in that overtime drive where he wasn't trying to protect himself at all on those scrambles. It was like he was punishing himself for the movie. It was like you can tell there's certain moments where you got a guy that's like, no, I fucked this up. I got to win it for us. And yeah, you didn't. But I think Lamar Jackson is number 2 in the race. Now, Lamar Jackson was my MVP pick at the beginning of the season. I still think it's anybody's race, or it's still a race where anybody could win. But yeah, those are the top 3, and I don't think that there will be anybody else that enters the conversation.
So we'll get to Josh Allen and his latest woes in just a second.
Right, that's
the current odds are Patrick Mahomes is number 1, minus 110. Tua is plus 500. Jalen Hurts plus 500. Josh Allen plus 600. Lamar Jackson plus 12. Joe Burrow plus 2,000. Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, Herbert, Tyreek Hill, Brady, Jefferson, so on and so forth. One thing I want to raise, I do have an extreme issue with 2 things. Love Tua. He's been awesome. Don't love Kirk, but he's been okay. But I think it's time we start acknowledging like the wide receivers as the MVP candidates that they should be. Like Justin Jefferson should be top 5. Like I'm not saying he should be in the top 3 at all. He shouldn't be the main contender, but the top 5 right now is again Mahomes, Tua, Hurts, Allen, and Lamar. If Jalen Hurts won, I wouldn't be upset, but at the same time, I feel like Justin Jefferson has been just as valuable, if not more so, to the Vikings as Hurts has to the Eagles.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
Did you think Cooper Kupp should be the MVP last year?
No, but I thought he should have been in the top 3 in voting, and that's my point. I don't think
there ever been a wide receiver that winning MVP?
Maybe.
The answer, I think, is no. I'm fairly confident the answer is no.
For sure, but this is a different league, and the way they use wide receivers these days, and like we're seeing it. We just literally talked about how it's different for Tua now. The coverage he's seeing, just because we know it's because of Tyreek Hill. He should be above Tua.
I get it, but Tua's not winning an MVP. Neither is Jalen Hurts. It's not going to happen. Not this year. Like MVP, there's a little bit of politics and PR in the MVP race as always.
A little.
Yeah, I'm trying to be,
money's involved.
I'm trying not to get too conspiratorial about it. But look, wide receiver is still looked upon as a position is dependent on a guy throwing you the football, right? The idea you can't get anything without the guy doing that. It's the same way that but to the valuing the wide receiver position is an extremely hard prospect because not everybody's the same. As far as the way that even the numbers and everything, like not everybody's the same. I've been here on this podcast screaming about how great Terry McLaurin is, right? And my thing is like Terry could put up monster numbers if he had somebody that could put the ball where it needs to be.
Yeah, but he's never done that, and that's why he's not.
No. But it's a dependent position. But my only knock against Terry was the fact that he can't run certain routes for health.
It's not that he can't; they don't have him do so.
For health,
it's a dependent position for some wide receivers. For those top 3 guys, top 5. When Nuke was fucking getting thrown to before Deshaun Watson got there, he kept that fucking 1,400 yard seasons, 100 catch seasons. Nobody was saying, hey, it's a dependent position. No, it is a dependent position. But for some guys, for a Justin Jefferson, for a Nuke, for a Jamar Chase, for maybe even a Devontae Adams, it doesn't matter who's throwing.
But I think the larger point that I was trying to make was that Kirk Cousins will not win the MVP this year.
For sure. No. And nor should he be even in contention is my point.
Right. But the thing is that Justin Jefferson won't either. That's what you'll see. A wide receiver being so good that it makes the quarterback's job easier, and they cancel each other out of the MVP conversation.
It depends.
I think that's how it's going to go.
If Kirk Cousins throws for 4,000 yards, right?
If Kirk Cousins throws for 5,000 yards and 52 touchdowns, right?
Let me finish. If Kirk Cousins throws for 4,000 yards, but Justin Jefferson has 3,000 of them, He's winning MVP.
I don't see any receivers getting 3,000 yards. But
I know. 2,000, he might
I think 2,000 is the sniff. But we've had Calvin Johnson has not won an MVP. I'm just saying, if you have a situation,
he also wasn't winning.
Also valid. But my point of it is, if Kirk Cousins threw for more touchdowns or yards than anybody else in the league this year, right? He's still not my MVP. And the reason he's not my MVP, he has Justin Jefferson. Like, I'm not going to give him MVP. Why? You have Justin Jefferson. Like, I look at Patrick Mahomes, he's leading the conversation. Who's his number one wide receiver?
Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
All right,
the best tight end in football.
When
he won MVP the year before, he had Tyreek Hill. So,
we
weren't saying knocking him for that.
No, because I also look at Tyreek Hill's numbers, and they weren't Cooper Kupp like.
Because Cooper Kupp was the only option.
But I'm saying that,
and then he had
regardless of the year, Mahomes spreads the ball around. I don't care who the fuck it is; they spread the ball around to some degree. And yeah, Kelce gets a lot of it. But the idea is that you can clearly just look at a guy and know, hey, that's the guy. Justin Jefferson's great, but I think because of the position being dependent on the dude throwing the football, even though Jefferson has made Kirk like that fucking catch. Oh my god. He stole the ball with one hand from the defender. We had both hands on the ball. It's fucking insane. It looks amazing, but I don't think it'll happen. And if Cooper Kupp didn't do it last year, didn't even get a sniff, I don't see anybody having a season in which you were more. I don't know.
I thought he was top 5 in the voting.
What? Who?
He might have got a vote. I think he got a vote. Yeah, I think he got a single vote.
Like that's kind of where.
And that's where you go. Jefferson will get a vote, but I don't see it happening. I don't see them getting it.
Like you got to do something stupid, like 2,500 yards.
2,500 yards, 25. Like if you break both records going away, then I think you're in. I think you would get the conversation. But then you'd also look that quarterback probably got some fucking insane stats.
And if he doesn't, then it's better for you.
So it was.
But I think it's an impossibility, right?
Not really.
All right. Yeah,
he
Stafford's
did get one vote, and he was top 3. Like I said, like he did get one vote. It's Aaron Rodgers with 39, Tom Brady with 10, and Cooper Kupp had 1.
But it's not the Heisman. We got to start with this top 3 shit. It's not the Heisman. Like it's not.
But I'm just saying, it's
like you to get a vote.
Like to get a vote is a thing, and I think receivers getting a vote. If you're a receiver and you get a vote, if you're a receiver and you get a vote, that's your MVP. Congratulations.
And he had the triple crown. That's the real MVP right there.
Yeah, it was amazing.
We mentioned and kind of glossed over Josh Allen's struggles. So the Bills lost again, and Josh Allen.
Shit, we sound like ESPN right now. Glossed over his struggles.
So I want to highlight that we glossed over him, so we're not going to gloss over him anymore.
Yeah.
So the Bills lost yet again, close game, fourth in overtime this time. And Josh Allen threw the game away. He threw a pick late in overtime and basically didn't give him a chance to score. They looked like they were moving, the offense was going, and he threw the game away. Last week he threw the game away, and when he fumbled, I guess no, not last week. In the same game, in the same game earlier, he fumbled. You can say it was the center's fault, that's fair. But he struggled in the fourth quarter last week as well. Why aren't people talking about Josh Allen struggling?
We know why.
Clutch, and also, well, let's start with that. Why aren't people talking about Josh Allen struggling in the clutch?
We know why.
Is it because he's Jewish? No, I don't know if he's Jewish. I'm just kidding.
I don't know either. But
okay,
I don't want to say what I want to say because you just put that shit out there.
No, I'm kidding. K-Dot.
Josh Allen is neither Hebrew or Negro.
Hebrew.
He's definitely not a Hebrew. He's not a black Jew. He's not a black Jew. Because here's the thing: the end of the minute. I am part Ashkenazi Jew, as most of us are. I want to get into that. Y'all know who King Leopold? No, I'm joking. Goddamn.
Oh, just bleep this whole shit out.
Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills is still considered to be a powerhouse team. And the way the Minnesota Vikings game ended was just nutty. It was just nutty. I do think Josh Allen, he coughed it up. And it's the safest play in the league. Quarterback sneak. Should be able to just kind of take care of that. But I look at that decision. I'm like, should they have gone to the back of the end zone and got the safety? Should they have done something else? I don't know. It just was fluky, and I don't think that it's an indictment on who they are as a team either. If you look at the last two, I think I said something about the Jets on this podcast. Was it last week or week before? And I got kind of laughed out of here about how the Jets can win some games. I really do think the Jets can win some games. And they're 6-3, same record as fucking Buffalo. And you got the Vikings who have only lost a game. So it's not like they lost 24-0 to the Saints. They know that they can still win games. It's not
shot.
they can win games. It's not like they're gonna lose to the Denver Broncos next week. Like they know.
You're 1 for 2 because that was.
It's not like they got Josh McDaniels as head coach. They know they're gonna be able to continue to get shit done.
33% from the field, bro.
It's not like they got a quarterback in Derek Carr that like cries every time things don't go right.
You're 25% now. Jesus Christ. Percentages keep getting lower and lower.
It's not like they play in Vegas and have this fucking loser that cuts his own hair.
20%.
Right. Look, the Bills are fine. Josh Allen, he's come down in everybody's estimation behind. 4 weeks ago, wasn't he everybody's MVP pick?
Yeah.
No, I still have Mahomes.
2 weeks ago. So that's the thing is like, I think Allen is actually getting a fairly fair take right now, which is that, all right, you're not number one, you're not number two in the MVP race. We still love your team, which is kind of, you guys lost 2 games you should have won.
The only issue I have is that conversation's not the same.
That's my only issue is that when Lamar was struggling, which it's news flash to people, all quarterbacks struggle. Like during the course of a 17-16 game season, all quarterbacks have their spots where they struggle, even in an MVP season. But with that said, when Lamar was struggling like earlier in the season, and it was like they had a couple fourth quarter hiccups, one to the Giants, and again also against the Buffalo Bills, who have, I believe, a top 5 defense. Struggling in the fourth quarter, it was just kind of highlighted, and I know it has a portion of it has to do with the fact that he doesn't have his contract yet.
Top 10.
He doesn't have his contract yet, and then it's like, oh well, hey, if he can't beat the Bills, then how should he get a guaranteed contract? That's fucking bullshit. Because nobody asks after you get paid, unless you just have an entire season of struggling. It's never a game-to-game basis with a quarterback like Josh Allen, where it's like, hey, they paid you a lot of fucking money, Josh. You lost to the Minnesota Vikings, who aren't even good on defense. Why? How do you do that, Josh? Nobody says that shit, but it should. The conversation should happen, even though I know, just like you guys know, it's just a game. It's one game. It's one game. Let's see how it plays out course of the season. If he keeps struggling, it's more noteworthy, but he struggled for a couple games. He'll course correct and be fine. As far as MVP favorite and stuff like that, I think Mahomes is the favorite right now. And I think he'll finish and win it. I think he'll finish and still win it. Go ahead.
All right. So you know how you were talking about QB struggling, right?
Yeah.
And the unfair criticism that Lamar's gotten this year, included.
Yeah.
What's the Ravens record?
6-3.
What's the Chargers record?
5-4.
What's the Bengals record?
5-4.
I haven't heard that shit about Burrow and Herbert.
Oh yeah, being better than him. Oh yeah, for sure. And they said they were better than Lamar.
And they have their contracts coming up as well.
That's true. Very true.
And they're gonna try. They're gonna try to do it now.
A contract coming up, right?
Yeah, because they're gonna try to pay him now.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I still think that Lamar Jackson, since he's coming to the league, has been an enigma. I don't think any conversation about a quarterback has ever been the conversation we have about Lamar Jackson compared to anybody else. The way that he plays football still hasn't even been registered in most people's brains as far as gauging his wealth to the team. What he's doing as far as running the football and throwing the football combined is something we haven't had the national conversation about, partially, I think, because he doesn't have anybody on his team singing his praises, as most of these other guys do. You have agents and PR making sure that people are talking about you in a certain way in all these different capacities. He's on his own. And that's the thing with Lamar, is that every time the conversation gets brought up, I don't think the general public knows even what the fuck is happening in Baltimore. Because look, it's not. I live here. It's not a big market. It's not a big market at all. They're not on national television all the fucking time. Like, and they don't have a guy that's singing the praises of Lamar to everyone. They don't have Adam Schefter getting this juicy story about something that's fucking happened with Lamar, or this is what he's fucking doing on the field, or making sure somebody on ESPN is leading the segment talking about, yo, have we talked about Lamar and what he's doing on? No. What do you get? You still get the same jokes about him being a running back at quarterback because nobody's seen him fucking play unless you pay attention, right? Like, that's the thing. I just think that if he did things a little more traditional, I guess, in a sense.
Fuck that.
And I hate that word, but like, if he had an agent, if he had the PR machine, I really do think the conversation would change a little bit about Lamar. But he's doing things his own way. And it's completely unique. There's no one that's ever been like him.
Yep. I agree.
Lamar's going to win the Super Bowl.
That to me, that would change everything.
I'm still on it. He's going to win it. And I just wish people would be able to contextualize what he's done in terms of his greatness and things like that. Like, it's not like
I hope y'all don't see it.
A lot of people
I pray y'all don't see
into like running. He runs the football, not a passer, bro. He gets just look at the yardage, the touchdowns. Like, it's very simple.
Bruh,
he gets the ball down the field.
I pray y'all don't see it. I pray y'all don't. I pray the Ravens front office don't see that shit, and y'all let him walk. And he comes to us.
Not going.
No, it's Washington. But here, let me ask you this though: who's the most electrifying player maybe in the National Football League
ever or now?
Right now,
Just Lamar.
So, do you remember back when Mike Vick was the most electric player in the league?
2010, when he whooped the Washington Blanks on Monday Night Football, it's 59-14. Was it 59-14, similar to the Raiders score that you were talking about earlier, Jack?
I was thinking about more about the Falcons era, but yeah, I remember that too.
No, it was definitely the Eagles era because he combined the passing with it. He was able.
All right, fucker, go be finished with the point.
Sean Jackson.
Yeah. I think they went up against Donovan McNabb too.
The worst part about that,
damn.
do y'all remember what happened pregame?
No, what happened pregame?
Pregame, LaRon Landry, roided up LaRon Landry, our safety, went over to talk some shit to Deshaun, and play 64 yards over the top of Landry. It was the worst thing because we knew as fans, goddamn LaRon, shut the fuck up. Why are you over there? And burnt twice or whatever. My thing with Lamar, Lamar's the most electrifying player in the National Football League, right? But talk about Vic during that era. Talk about Vic even during the Falcons era. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing a Michael Vick jersey. Guess what you don't see nationwide? Lamar Jackson. He's not in the top 10 fucking jerseys, man. People don't know what's happening here with him. They don't.
I'm not going to say they don't know.
People do not know what's happening with Lamar.
Hey, Kata, I'm going to bring up one of my favorite movies, Remember the Titans. You remember Petey was talking to his boy? And he was like, don't say you don't know. You don't want to know. Some of these people don't want to know.
That's not entirely true. Lamar, I'm telling you, Lamar doesn't get the play that he needs, man. He does not get national attention. He doesn't happen.
He should.
I agree.
And why doesn't he?
I just told you.
Why?
He doesn't do any of it.
Do what?
He likes hanging on the west side of Baltimore chilling. That's his thing. It makes him authentic. It is him. But he doesn't play the game. He doesn't play the other game. What national campaign?
The man of the people.
Hold on, but here, what national campaign is Lamar Jackson doing right now? Do you know any national advertising he's doing for anybody?
What is Herbert doing?
Herbert's in Los Angeles. Do you know what the television market is in Los Angeles?
Being white, James. That's what you want to hear. He is being white.
Do you want to compare Los Angeles?
Joe Burrow are being white.
Joe Burrow was in the Super Bowl last year.
No, but he smoked cigars.
Right, LSU, cool. National profile.
Hey, Mac Jones did too.
Where did Lamar Jackson go to college?
Louisville.
How many national televised games did Louisville have?
They were all over ESPN.
He was a Heisman.
ESPN, why? Because Lamar Jackson would have a highlight reel on the fucking top 10, right? Yeah. Absolutely. Guess what doesn't happen now? It doesn't happen now. That's my point. If he did things just a little... all he needs is a Subway campaign, and it's over. Like, he needs something. He doesn't do any of that.
I do hope
he's authentically him, but he doesn't do it. We should be seeing Lamar on TV a lot more than Russell fucking Wilson.
We should. move to our last topic, being our game picks.
I just
Right
thought about
now,
all the shit Russell Wilson's in. God damn
according
it.
to
We can't get one Lamar Jackson commercial for something.
He should
He
be
ain't even on
everywhere.
that. He should be on some Baltimore commercial. He ain't even doing that.
What's this Subway shit? Dangerous? The Dangerous?
The Danger Rich.
That's
The Danger Rich.
That's a fucking insane. His fucking campaigns are fucking insane. But anyway, all right. So
you want to buy this sandwich? It's dangerous.
Dangerous.
I got a Subway sandwich sitting on my bar right now, and I want to throw it in the trash because I did not think about Russell.
Yeah, throw that shit away.
all right. So as it stands in terms of football picks for the season, K-Dot is 93 and 56.
Giant lead.
James is 88 and 61. I am 75 and 74. Ryan is 70 and 79.
Are we counting Ryan's 10?
I think that's included in there, right?
It is not. We can't go back. So if it's including his 10, he's at 80 and 79. Just
80 and 79. Okay. All right. And so Ryan is at 80 and 79. Yeah, because I guess that wouldn't be. Well, no, because he'd be equal with me in terms of.
No, it wouldn't be 79. Sorry. Yeah, because you take that off that, right?
So it'd be 80 and 69?
Right.
Okay, I was going to say, because his numbers would be the same in terms of total and just terms of total.
80 and 69.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. 80 and 69. All right. So let's make some picks for this week.
I'm at 62%. That's like legit, right?
All right. So let's start with the Thursday night game. Titans are going to visit the Packers, who won miraculously against the Cowboys on Sunday.
Packers.
Titans.
Bad.
I had the Packers, but then I thought about it a little bit more. And they just cut Amari Rodgers, I believe, too.
So
that man fumbled like 9 times.
Yeah, why is he still there? Why was he still there?
Son of the Ravens pass game coordinator T. Martin. Just a note.
Fun fact.
But yeah,
the more you know.
The unstoppable Justin Fields goes to visit the Atlanta Falcons. I am going with the unstoppable Justin Fields.
Chicago.
Yeah, same. I wanted to pick the Falcons because Cordell Patterson's back.
He's been back.
No, I mean, he played last week. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I'm going with the Bears.
Browns at Bills.
I want to pick Cleveland this game for Buffalo.
Eagles at Colts. Eagles.
Yeah, it ends here. I mean, it's not going to be as bad as what the percentages are saying, but the Eagles are going to win.
If the Colts do win this game, the narrative about Saturday changes.
For sure. Jets at Patriots. Go, James.
Hold on. Who did they play the following week?
Who, the Jets? They had a bye week.
The Colts played the Steelers. Ooh. And then the week after that, the Colts play the Cowboys. If he wins this week, I could see him winning the next 2.
Yeah, the Eagles are a better team than those other 2 teams.
Okay. So you sticking with the Eagles, James? Or
yeah.
All right, Jets, Patriots, go, James.
Jets.
I'm going Jets.
I was going Jets, but because you guys both picked the Jets, this was a game that I was struggling with. I'm going Patriots now. Okay. I didn't like how quickly y'all said Jets.
Okay, Rams, Saints, you go first.
The only reason why I said that is because I actually already thought about it.
No, I thought about it too. That was a game I'm on the fence about. Like hardcore, I'm on the fence about that.
Yeah, so I said which one I picked already.
Okay, I'll go Patriots now.
I didn't sit
there. Patriots at home. Yeah, Patriots. Saints.
James.
Cooper Kupp, high ankle sprain, going on IR.
The thing is, like, the Rams aren't like this is where it ends. Like, they mortgaged their future for the Super Bowl, and now they got all these high priced people on their team and no draft picks.
They'll be back next year.
I don't think so.
They'll be back next year. They'll be contenders for another year. It's just this year they didn't do enough.
I honestly don't think so.
There have not been back-to-back Super Bowls. There have not been back-to-back Super Bowl champions in how long now? Like the Super Bowl slump thing is back. And if you don't do enough to address your team in the offseason, it's not going to be like, you look at the Bengals that were just there in the Super Bowl, right? Revamp the whole fucking offensive line, right? They swapped Von Miller for Bobby Wagner and never replaced OBJ. Or tried to replace OBJ with Allen Robinson, and they ain't using properly. So it's just not enough.
The thing is, when you talk about retooling, how are they going to retool?
Offensive line, they can get some depth there after the offensive line thing if they add a running back of some sort.
How?
I really do think they'll get another year season. They're too talented. They're too talented.
How, Sway? How? All right, so
the salary cap is you can get by the salary cap.
James,
at some point the Roosters coming home to all right.
The Roosters come home to roost.
Yeah, I know. You know what I meant.
I'm going Saints.
The Roosters say cock-a-doodle-doo.
James.
Okay. Fuck you. I said the Saints already. Yeah.
All right. And Cat, you did say Saints, right?
Saints.
All right. Lions at Giants. I'm going Lions.
Giants.
I respect the Lions pick. I'm going to go with the Giants too, though.
Okay. Panthers at Ravens. K-Dot.
Ravens.
James.
Panthers.
I'll go Ravens.
Ravens. I'm joking. Like, come on. Why would you think?
It can happen.
No, it can't.
The way we play, it can happen. We sink down. We don't play up. We sink down.
Playing Baker.
And he's going to play up because he hates us. But, whatever.
Y'all hate him too.
I expect the defense to wreck that ass, though. Pause. Yep. Washington at Houston.
Resume. Washington at Houston. I got Washington.
I'm going Brian Robinson. I'm riding him in fantasy. I expect to touch a couple touches, maybe one.
I think Gibson will have more of an impact.
He always does. Commanders.
Okay. Raiders at Broncos. I'm going Broncos. Kadeem.
Y'all can't lose this game.
They can.
No, I'm saying for what it is that they do, who they are, and the talent they have, they can't lose this game.
They can't. They couldn't lose to the Colts.
And they fucking did. I picked the Colts. I'm going to pick the Raiders this week.
Okay. All right. So the Broncos.
I regret my decision already. God damn it.
I know. The Broncos have a lot of similarities with the Colts on defense, right? They have a great defense, just like the Colts do.
They're also a bad team.
The only other difference is the fact that they don't have Jonathan Taylor back there. They have Russell Wilson, who's better than Matt Ryan, but they also don't have any receivers. But for some reason, we can't guard nobody. I hope Nate Hobbs is back this week. I'm about to check, but I'm gonna go with the Raiders just because I can't stand to ever pick the Broncos. I think they're gonna win though, but fuck it. Go ahead and switch your pick, K-Dot.
Yeah, Broncos.
Thank you.
You ruined that for me. You fucking ruined the shit out of that.
Wait, hold on. I did that on purpose.
You knew what you were doing. You ruined the fuck out of me.
And look, watch, they win by 1 fucking point.
You might.
The game. Look, it's gonna be 9-6.
You've killed any faith I had in the Raiders with that explanation.
9-6.
You
Cowboys
killed my faith.
At Vikings. James, go first.
I got the Cowboys this one.
Same.
I don't like being on the same page with you guys, but yeah, Cowboys.
Just do it.
I'm at 62%.
At 93 going in.
I'm at 59.
He is like, oh, you guys got to be wrong.
Yeah, like I'm at 59.
No, it's just there's a part of me that's like that, but I'm trying to listen. I'm really upset about what James said to maybe change that pick.
I hope he fucked you up too. I hope he fucked your pick up.
And that's what I'm thinking back because he seems like he did it on purpose, like he knew what he was doing.
Bengals at Steelers. I'll start off.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, you got it. Bengals.
Same.
Okay. Chiefs at Chargers. K-Dot.
Chiefs.
James.
Divisional game. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Fuck.
Chargers.
Football, baby.
I really think about the Chargers.
Chargers winning this. Chargers winning.
I don't think Keenan Allen's back yet.
And he's been practicing this week. He's practicing. Him and Mike Williams are practicing this week. Yeah. All right, but we moving on.
Chargers.
Nah. I hate it when I get my one right pick. But anyway,
Chiefs. I'm sticking with Chiefs.
Hey,
49ers.
I hope Khalil Mack has a field day.
49ers at Cardinals. I'm going Niners, man.
Niners.
I'm going Cardinals.
I don't think that's a bad pick because
The toddler out there is going to have a good day.
the score I got is 33-27.
I got it 20-21.
Okay. That's fair. All right. Let's get into some final thoughts and then we can go on about our day, gents. I will kick this off because they announced the Grammy noms for this year, and I want to just say I wish our people specifically, would stop giving credence to the Grammys and what they do in terms of rap album nominations and rap song and R&B song and putting people in wrong categories. Just stop paying attention to the shit because they don't care about the most popular genre in the world, and that's fine. Don't expect them to. Don't complain. I feel bad for the artists who, have to do it in turn, want their Grammy noms and Grammy awards and everything, and like can help their, families and can help them financially and stuff. I get it why artists care. I'm not questioning that. Fans have to stop giving a shit about it, and then maybe, we could give some more credence to something else that, can hold some weight and like kind of lift up those artists. Not necessarily the BET Awards, but something. Like we got to find something. But
Source Awards come back.
Hey, Source Awards used to be fired. Just, people died. But yeah, so just stop paying attention to that shit, man. And also just want to say Wakanda Forever was awesome, and we're going to do a pod about it, Unequal Opinions. And you will hear me go, straight nerd, and I know you want to see it.
Andor is great. Black Adam's bad. Yeah. I think that's it.
All right. For me, World Cup Sunday.
Oh fuck me.
Wait. Yeah, you got work to do for it, I'm assuming.
So much work.
You know what? I might go with you.
For what? I don't want to be a part of any of this shit.
You say that until you get there.
I gotta be at like 6 a.m. with a fucking camera.
All right, I'm about to say. I was like, bruh, you were sitting in a fucking gas station listening to you know what. You could go sit and watch a soccer game. The story you told before. Marilyn Manson.
What's wrong with Marilyn Manson?
What's wrong with soccer?
Well, if you ask...
No, sorry. What's wrong with Marilyn Manson's music?
What's wrong with soccer, the game?
What's wrong with R. Kelly's music?
Oh, God.
Hold on. Whoa.
Right, you know what?
Not the same.
No,
it is. No. Marilyn Manson is a Nazi.
He's not a Nazi.
Okay.
Wait, how's he a Nazi?
I thought he did the same stuff that R. Kelly did.
He did not do the same stuff R. Kelly did.
No, he didn't. No. He's just more. He just like, like friends of a Nazi and like shit like that. Kind of, he's in that world.
I mean, he played kind of a Nazi on Sons of Anarchy, but that's the closest I've
ever
seen.
Yeah, he did, but that was different.
I don't know what you're talking about, honestly. I really didn't know.
I'll send you some links.
All right, feel free. But no, R. Kelly, you can't listen to the dude talk about all of his criminal acts and it'd be okay. That's how you set. Like, I can separate artists from crime. I can do that. I still can watch the Cosby Show. I can do that. I can listen to a Cosby comedy. I can't even listen to Aaliyah. I can't hear her say age ain't nothing but a number and then know what happened.
True.
Or Make It Rain, different connotation.
Manson also faces a federal lawsuit in Los Angeles alleging sexual assault and battery and human trafficking.
I know the Evan Rachel Wood stuff and some of the other stuff beyond that. I 100% know that, but I have not.
Yeah, he used a Nazi whip on her.
Just because he's a history buff. I mean, I'm not.
He had a Hitler obsession.
I know. I'm not going that far. And I know
That's crazy.
You know what? I'm not gonna say that
either.
He
had a Hitler obsession. That's the music you were listening to. But
I wasn't listening to that shit.
But you can't listen to I Believe I Can Fly.
Where was he going? Where was he flying to?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I
No,
used to
don't do
think that I could fuck a dog.
Oh God! Oh no!
But I realized it's just not what I'm into. Oh, if she has hair there, then it's too old for me. If she has hair there,
Delete this.
then I just say
Delete this
no.
You could have kept this part of the pod, but not anymore.
Delete this footage.
not anymore.
I believed I could fly.
Woo.
Now I'm locked the fuck up.
He doing some flying. No. He doing some
You're
flying.
flying from one dick to the other.
Robert, get your ass over here.
But he bisexual anyway, so you know.
He
don't
probably
care.
having a blast.
But he I think he a top though. He don't like being a bottom probably.
He ain't got no choices.
He got
when the News Boy came out, the money's gone. Ain't no reason for anybody to stick with it.
All right,
Well, you got
so
somebody.
look-
You think somebody in there saying, "Man, I really like Space Jam." You can.
I don't know
My
how to
wife was in the
hog
other
people.
room. Yo, my wife is in the other room. She sent me a gift and it says, "So beautiful." Talk about your singing.
Thank you.
All right.
This is
guys.
all going up.
It's been a great episode.
Oh, so you Shia LaBeouf. That's not a problematic person.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out.
All
R.
right.
Kelly signing off.
No.
I want to piss on you. Yes, do. I want to piss
All right,
on you. I
leave
want to piss on
See,
you.
look. We could have had this shit in the pod, but no. He just want to keep taking it further.
It's all going up.
All right. Bye.
Don't say that when you're talking about R. Kelly.
I can't run for president. All right, bye, guys.